So this time, it is the statement of Okonjo Iweala, Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, the former Minister of Finance of Nigeria, and the current, I think, is it president of the World Trade Organization, WTO. So she met. With Thiefnubu yesterday, and after their meeting, she's recently elected. I think elected the president of the no, not recently though, but she came to Nigeria to do one WTO project or program where they intend to give $5,000 to, I think, each to 250 something women to empower them and their businesses and all that. So she met with Kolu, and after the meeting, she spoke with the media in the Aso Rock, where she said, Kolu should be praised for stabilizing the Nigeria economy. And coming from her, that is like a great, a great endorsement for Thiefnubu. Okay. So people like me, people like you, complain about economy this, economy that, and all of that stuff. So we are like illiterate. So Kolu and his gang getting that kind from her, yeah, is a huge endorsement to say they are doing what is good. Like the economy is stable, the naira is coming from her, and that has gotten people talking. A lot of people have reacted. Like, are you being serious? As others are like, she's right. Others are like, no, she's not. You get what I mean now? While others are saying, what do you expect her to say? She was in the Aso Rock. Do you want her to say Thiefnubu has crashed Nigeria economy? But this is what she actually said. Just to know what are you going to say yourself? Ngozi.
Okay, the president embarked on some reforms at the initial stage of his administration, and now he's told Nigerians that the economy is turning the corner. What's the WTO's perception of Nigeria's economy?
So we think that the president and his team, and we just exchanged with him, have worked hard to stabilize the economy. And you cannot really improve an economy unless it's stable. So he has to be given the credit for the stability of the economy. So the reforms have been in the right direction. What is needed next is growth. We now need to grow the economy, and we need to put in social safety nets so that people who are feeling the pinch of the reforms can also have some support to be able to weather the hardship. So that's the next step. How do we build social safety net to help Nigerians cushion the hardship they're feeling? And then how do we grow the economy so we can create more jobs and put more money in people's pockets? These are issues that we discussed with Mr. President.
àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú ó jọ má bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò má rárá.
Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. So what that means is that what the satire means is that this thing that you just said, madam, it make it look like you are somebody who, they just use this tiny, that taba. I don't know what it's called in English. That taba, that thing that people are sniffing, like it's not cocaine, like taba. It's called taba. Like all this brown. So there is a spoon for it. If you probably lived with, the old men or even old women back then, you remember it's called asa. You see the spoon? It's a tiny, like, ice cream top spoon like that. It's like you are like somebody who they use that tiny thing to scoop a tiny brain into the head, or maybe you actually have brain, but the one that is left there is no longer working. Baba, what that is that he's just trying to be politically correct. Should we review what she said? the policies are working, and the economy is stable. Because if the economy is not stable, you can't improve. Or a removed subsidy, that was over 2 years ago. Since then, Thiefnubu, what he called cushion the effect of subsidy removal, to share rice, give them rice, give them rice, give them 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira, and that should do it. But people are still crying, they are hungry. Okay, you know what? Give them rice again. Until people started complaining about rice, like, what rice? That's their own solution to cushion the effect. I'm talking about somebody say, let us give them £5. If they are claiming that they are hungry, give them £5, 10,000 naira as a government. And that's not like 10,000 naira like that too. So now they are planning to see how to cushion the effect for you. What are they going to do? What are they going to give you? She's been dishonest. Back party says, well, she's not expected to say anything otherwise. Listen.
Now, Dr. Okonjo Iweala, who is Director General, second time, of the WTO, is an international diplomat. No one should expect that she will go to the president of Nigeria and tell him anything otherwise. As an international diplomat, yes, she will echo, and what she's done is not even original. She simply echoed IMF World Bank, Article 4 consultative session outcome, saying that, President Tinubu's reform is going very well, and that those reforms are important and all that. But both the IMF and the World Bank added the same caveat about the need for social safety nets. She said exactly the same thing. She said, okay, the reforms are working, but now we need growth. In other words, she's also saying the same thing that the IMF and World Bank said, that we need to do more. So when Minister Edun comes on the sidelines and says, we're doing well, the budget is doing well, we are, paying attention to all regular payments and all that, that's government talk. The emphasis is on growth, which Dr. Okonjo Iweala pointed out. How do we grow this economy? And the counter-argument is that, is there enough productivity in this economy to ensure growth? I've consistently said there is no enough productivity. And then we're still a monocultural economy. The bulk of what we get is still from oil. That's why every day, even when Rotus comes around, we are watching what is the oil benchmark today, how is Brent crude doing, how is WTI doing. We need to do a lot more in terms of expanding this economy, making it grow. 3.4, 3.5% growth is not enough. Those who know the subject have said, look, can we get to Nigeria to a double-digit growth level, which was where this economy was going at a certain time. Removing fuel subsidy and having additional revenue, yes, may solve initial problems, but there are more fundamental problems that an international diplomat will not stand in front of President Tinubu and spell out. So productivity, one. And then there are many agencies of government that we need to look
to streamline, cut down government costs. Cutting down government costs means all these political appointments, which comes with cars, money, salaries, and other allowances. They are drainers. You call them up. But Thiefnubu has promised a lot of people. And the only way anybody can support Thiefnubu is when he either promises you something or he gives you something. Money, appointments, anything. And then you can pay that back. That's how Kolu runs, how operates. So with the resources that they claim to be scarce, it's kind of like ending up in the hands of the same rogues who made the resources scarce. That's how they roll. But yeah, Iweala won't say that at that place. And by the time you're going to see her talk again somewhere on a different kind of like a platform and all that, where she can be honest, maybe brutally honest. That was a politically correct statement. It's not real. Leaving that aside, there is also another, another kind of like a square peg in a round hole. His name is Bosun Tijani. He's the Minister for Communication or Minister of Communication in that contraption. Nigerians have been like drowning. Nigerians have been like crying because of the cost of data, mobile data, and what have you. And in the last 2 years, they have already increased what is believed to be the tax over telecommunication. It's called telecommunication tax. They've increased that. They have shortened the length of what people pay for their data and what have you, that people have to pay more now. So people were complaining. But they have a guy who is believed to be coming from the, this tech bro kind of like cycle. People would think and, provide solutions in such a way that, because that's what you do. When you see a problem, you provide solution, you create a solution for that. So if you have a chance of joining government, somebody who is creating solution, maybe creating apps and all of that, or you not get into government and you are pretty much like a complete flaw. I'm a flop. You get that now? Then somebody said, oh my God. When you look at those they call tech bros in Nigeria, who are supposed to actually be, building technologies that solves problems in true essence of it, not milking it. You get it now? You realize that most of these guys are only sort of taking advantage of a broken system in that contraption. How do you explain Nigerians paying to withdraw their own money through the POS? So to somebody was like, oh, I will create a solution and bring money closer to you. And in that regard, the system ensured that there is no enough money in the cash machine, ATM. So you have to go to the side road and all of that. So there are many of those things they created just to milk the system. A working system will cancel most of those things. So that guy came from that background. Bosun Tijani, and he was somewhere telling his listeners that Thiefnubu's greatest achievement is that he's laying a 5G cable, 90 miles, I've been at 900 miles, I don't know, that once it is completed, it's going to give internet access to millions of Nigerians in a country that has no electricity. Do you get that now? Bosun Tijani has been, is kind of more like a farmer. He should have been an agri minister than anybody that has anything to do with technology. Is all these communications between these terrorists and all that. Somebody like Bosun Tijani could have helped, because his ministry has gadget equipments to track anything, your email or your text messages or your fax or name it. And yet, a communication minister is more about, damn it, man. I got him speaking somewhere. Listen to this. Empty barrels.
And you know that that's coming from a reliable source. Those kind of projects are not delivered in 2 months, in 3 months. They are 3, 4, 5 year kind of projects. And it's one of the projects that this administration is doing that I explained to you. It's the largest in any developing countries in the world, the largest. Where we're investing in 90,000 kilometers of fiber. That is a project that we believe will provide job opportunities for a lot of young people. A lot, because a lot of these people will lay those fibers. People will start to set up community ISPs that can also provide these services to people. These are the kind of things that if we all don't back, we're not going to see affordable connectivity. At the minute, we rely on the MNOs for everything that we consume. And there's absolutely no way that will be cheap or that will.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ni àbọ̀ ń ṣí èrè.
Láti jẹ́ kó ṣí èrè ni. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ ni, I wanted you to hear it too. They are laying fiber cable of 90 kilometers And that mofo sat in the APC youth office telling his mumu, like the Ronukus, with him that 90 kilometers of fiber cable is the largest in the whole world, developed world. Like what's he talking about? Developed world. Do you have another meaning for developed world? Because I don't understand. Between here and Edinburgh. No, let me go further. From Glasgow to Aberdeen is more than 100, it's actually more than 200 kilometers. And what you have there, like you have all over this country, you have thousands of kilometers laid fiber cable, along with other fiber super fast cable. In the UK, we are now having what is called the mega fast or something, where you are getting 1.5, 2000 Mbps, megabit per second, which means you're having the speed that is like a speed of light. In my, what is he talking about? And what is this thing about ultra largest, biggest? And they have the audience, Nigerians who always want to pretend to be the most educated, though. 90 kilometers of fiber cable. That can be more than a cable they will lay in Abuja. Fiber. I actually thought he said 900 kilometers, but 90 kilometers? The largest. So if that is also kind of like, no, let's even say that is to connect all the airports in Nigeria. That's not even largest. Do you get what I mean? All over the world now, airports, even local airports, they have Wi-Fi, all kinds of Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi and what have you. So what is he talking about? And this is what they, this is what they put in their achievement book. Yeah, we have achieved this. And there's another one, and I want to use 142 billion naira to build bus stops. There's another one. Listen to this one.
Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Thinubu, among the memos that were presented to the Council seeking for approval include the construction of bus terminals, one in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. And I give you the location: southwest in Abeokuta, northeast in Gombe, northwest in Kano, north central in Lokoja, southeast in Onitsha, south in Warri, in favor of Mrs. Planet Project Limited in the sum of 142 billion 28,576,428 naira 17 kobo only. Let me say this loud and clear. This is the first time government is having intervention on road infrastructure apart from road construction. The idea of these terminals was chosen based on choice of their economic viability. It has come to the notice of the ministry that in spite of the significance of road transportation in Nigeria, there are no bus terminals to address the interests of millions of Nigerian commuters. As a result, we have a lot of crime, road traffic accident, proliferation of arms and ammunition on our highways. So that is what informed the ministry to approach Mr. President and indeed the Federal Executive Council to seek for the approval of the construction of this bus terminals. Thank you, Mr. President.
Did they hear? So bus terminals is actually not a bad idea. Abi, is it? They build bus stops or bus terminals. So bus terminals means like where bus can come in and leave. All those already exist, I think. Yeah. If you go to the park, right, to enter a bus going to Onitsha, for example, the East.